Hello everyone. Here I have completed the task 2 of my ongoing internship at the Sparks Foundation. The task 2 is prediction using unsupervised learning, and in this I have used the dataset, the iris dataset whose link I have attached here. So what we'll do in this task? In this task we are going to use the k-means clustering and we are going to visualize the k-means cluster for our iris dataset. What are the steps will follow? At first, importing the data set, visualizing the data, finding the optimum number of clusters, applying k-means clustering, and visualizing the cluster. At first, importing all the important libraries, reading our data. I have imported my iris data set here also, and using df.head will get top 5 records of our data, and through df.tail we get to know the last 5 records of our data. Then df.shape, here we'll know that it has 150 rows and 6 columns. Then what are the different types of columns we have in our data set, that is id, sepal length, sepal width, etc. Then using that uh, species.unique, we get to know the unique species, that is iris setosa, iris versicolor, and iris virginica. df.info, we get to know more information about our data, that also we don't have any null values in our data. Using df.describe, we get to know the mathematical things like count, mean, standard deviation, etc. Here, as it is an unsupervised learning problem, we'll drop the columns like species and ID and we'll store the data in iris underscore df. Then finding optimum number of clusters. In this, we'll use the elbow method. So what is the elbow method? In this method, the number of cluster varies within certain range. For each number within the cluster, the sum of square value is calculated and stored in a list. Then calculating the within cluster sum of square, and then plotting the within cluster sum of square against the cluster range. So in this graph, what we'll see that at this point, here at this point, we see that the graph is becoming constant. So we'll use as the number of cluster, which is 3. And also the elbow method tells us, here we see that the elbow method tells us that when it tries to become constant, that is the value of cluster will take. It means that when the elbow method, it tells us that the elbow method, after the point when it becomes constant, that is the value of number of cluster will take. So here we'll take 3 as the number of clusters. And at last, visualizing the clusters. So after visualizing the cluster, here we got the graph. We have 3 centroids in the graph as yellow color, red color iris setosa, blue as iris versicolor, and in green color we see that it is iris virginica. So thank you everyone.